my jobs is to raise awareness in the public about tax sale and how to avoid it. Do you know what tax sale is? Are there questions? Tax sale happens every year in May, and it's when outside investors come in and buy your unpaid bills, and you no longer owe the city for the bills, you owe the investor for the bills. And the investor can charge interest. Right now for homeowners it's 12%, and they can charge fees, and they are $750 at a time. The investors that buy these normally do not want your property. They normally want to continue charging you interest and charging you fees, and after 2 years, they can let the tax sale certificate, is what they call it, what they get, they can let that go back to the city and they disappear. People still owe all the bills, now they just go back to owing the city. All right? The companies that do this know exactly what they're doing. They're a racket almost. All right? They know what they're doing, and they know how to go about doing it, and they know who's going to pay and not pay. But my job, especially right now, is to try to get people to not go into tax sale. So for homeowners, the threshold is $750 combined bills from Department of Finance, which is property taxes mainly, right? The Department of Public Works, which is water bills, sewer bills, and the Environmental Control Board, which is environmental citations. So those things combined, if they equal $750, by April 28th, if you do not have them below $750, you can go into the May tax sale. Okay? So the trick is get that below $750 before April 28th. I've got a resource guide here. I don't know if you were able to get it at the front table or not, but I have copies. I can leave more here. There's everything from different tax credits to housing, counseling, free legal services. There are different agencies in the city that screen for a multitude of benefits that can help you save money on other bills, that will help you save money to pay the taxes or the things that you owe, so you don't go into tax sale. There's tax sale facts here. It's just a quick review sheet for you. One of the big things that I'm pushing right now is the homeowner's property tax credit. If you're a homeowner, there are about 15% of the houses in the city that are eligible actually take this tax credit. It's worth hundreds of dollars to people, and they don't take it. Any household with a total household income of under $60,000 a year should be applying for this every year to the state, and it's worth a lot of money. People don't do it. There's also a renter's tax credit. People don't know about that.
How many knew about that?
Okay, renter's tax credit will also give renters money back, because what the state says is people who are renting are paying a landlord basically his property taxes. The landlord is charging a renter money, and part of that money that he's charging is going to his property taxes. So you're subsidizing the owner's property taxes. So the state is saying renters should be getting some of that money back. It's a renter's tax credit. People don't take advantage of that. If you have bills, and it's on this sheet, if you have bills with either the finance department, property taxes, public works, your water and sewer bills, or environmental control board, you should be calling them first and getting details about the bill. Ask for credits. Ask what kinds of credits they have. The Department of Public Works, and it's all in this resource guide, they have a lot of credits people don't take. They have a senior water discount that nobody takes. They have a hardship exemption and lower income credit that nobody takes. If you have a medical condition and you need your water, you can't have it turned off, nobody knows about it, nobody takes it. So these kinds of things exist, nobody takes them, and just leave money on the table. Okay? So I can come back next month when the new 2017 tax credit forms are available. They're not available until February 1st, unfortunately, from the state. I can come back and go through those with you. I will say that there are a couple of common errors that people make when they fill them out, and I can go over those with you too. And also this year, the state is going to be producing a list of people who should have taken the tax credit last year and didn't. And they're going to be alerting those people to try and take it this year if they fall under $60,000 total household income. And I'm going to be helping them spread that word in the city, and hopefully you will spread that word too. Get the word out that there are credits out there, there's money to be had. If you call the Department of Finance, if you call the Department of Public Works, the Environmental Control Board, and you're not getting anywhere, you have trouble getting through to them, you're not getting answers to your questions. The reason my position exists is to help people like you with those types of problems. In 2014, the Able Foundation in the city produced a report that was very critical of the city that said the city is not being open enough to the public in addressing their concerns when it comes to tax sale, and we need an ombudsman, we need a coordinator to help that process along. That's why I exist. And I'll be back next month if you do take any of these steps and call these people and have a problem. And I think that's about it in a nutshell. It's a lot of information. Tax sales May 15th. Get all your bills down below $750 before April 28th. What is that you have? Senior citizen discount? That's for the public works, right? So if you're a senior and you're over 65, take the senior citizen, thank you, discount.
And that one's on the table.
They run the table?
Yep. I'll put them on the table.
Someone's ahead of me on this, it's good. So there are a lot of credits out there. What's the other one? Oh, also that's new in the city now is, in addition to the homeowner's property tax credit, as long as they take it, people who are over 62 years old are going to get an additional tax credit thanks to Jack Young and City Council. An additional, I think it's 4% or something on top of the state tax credit. And you don't have to apply for that as long as you apply for the homeowner's property tax credit. That's automatic. Yeah, so it's a lot of information. It's a lot to take in. But I'm here for, I'll stay if you have questions. There's a lot of information in these packets. Let's see if I missed anything. You guys have questions?
Hey,
Yes?
You said,
You got the COVID back.
what was the 3 bills that you said had to be under 750? You said
Okay,
what
any
they call them?
combination of property taxes, water or sewer bills, or environmental citations. And those can be for high grass, for water, standing water on your property, for a sidewalk that the city fixes in front of your property and charges you for. All of these things get added together. If it comes up to more than $750, you are eligible for tax sale in May.
Thank
You have until April 28th, and after April 28th, the city doesn't want to hear from you. And it goes to tax sale on May 15th. If an investor comes in, none of the investors buy those unpaid bills, it reverts back to the city. You still owe the city. In February 2nd, the city is going to start sending out notices to people because of unpaid bills. You have these unpaid bills. Don't ignore them. People see these and they either panic or they ignore them. The trick is to get ahead of this and get it taken care of before April 28th. In March, the city twice will post in the Daily Record and in the Baltimore Sun lists of all the addresses that will potentially go to tax sale in May. In April, the city will again send reminder notices, blast notices out to people who have these unpaid bills, take care of these bills. Yes?
Sorry, you said February 2nd, the city will send a consolidated sort of notice or?
The city sends individual letters to each address.
Right, but do they consolidate all of the different bills, so it could be environmental crimes or environment, and everything is on one notice that they send out? Okay.
Also, in February, by law, the Department of Aging will send the same kind of letter out to anyone who's a senior. And I think with them, it may be over 60 years old, who lives in the city, as an extra reminder. So there's a lot going on, but really try to pay attention. I used to be the city's bed bug trainer. And when I was training in bed bugs, I used to have basically the same message. It was stay alert, know what to look for, and act immediately, and you're gonna avoid a bigger problem. With bed bugs, it's an infestation. With taxes, it was tax sale. So just know what to look for, stay ahead of these bills, or reach out and get the help that's on these, in this resource guide, and get everything, below 750 before April 28th.
You had a question, Ms. Smith?
Yes, I do. I'm sorry, I have a question. Do you have any idea what the percentage is of vacant houses in the Park Heights community that are vacant because they were lost through tax sales?
Yeah, there's a discussion about that, I'll put it politely, within the city about how many vacants are actually caused by tax sale. Some in the housing department say it's not a big contributor, and some in the finance department say it is a big contributor. So there's no hard and fast figure. I will tell you that in February, approximately 8,000 to 9,000 letters go out to people in the city saying you have unpaid bills. By April 28th, and by the tax sale May 15th, only 2,000 of those addresses still exist and go into tax sale. The problem going into tax sale is that the investors charge 12% interest, and they charge $750 in incremental fees. And because it happens in May, and because your new property tax bill comes out July 1, everything gets lumped on top of these old taxes that you owe, old bills. So now instead of the old bills, now you have the property tax on top of that. And the investors that have these will not let you pay in increments. They can if they wanted to, but they don't have to, and they don't like to, because they want you to have to come up with a whole big sum of money. All right? And they can charge you 12% interest, $750 in incremental fees. It adds up fast.
And what ends up happening as a result of that, if I'm understanding you correctly, what ends up happening is those individuals end up losing those homes because they cannot afford to pay
Thank you
those
for
financiers.
saying that.
Yeah,
By law, 9.5 months after the tax sale May 15th, by law, an investor can go to a judge and say, I want to foreclose on the home. The majority, 95% of the cases, that doesn't happen. The investors don't want the property. They just want to continually charging you fees and interest to the point where it becomes unbearable, all right? But they can, by law, do that, and sometimes they do. So there's no guarantee. But people get these letters in February and they think, oh my gosh, I lost my
Mike,
house.
I can introduce you one, all right? Just one second. The seniors are leaving. Do y'all wanna say something?